Hi, I'm Tony Richards, and today you guys are in for a special treat. We're going to head over to Sterling Restorations in Fairfield, California, and we're going to check out this 69 Corvair Monza that Gabe over at Sterling is restoring for my friend Bruce Mooers. In case you don't know, 69 Corvair, they only built 6,000 of them, so they're somewhat rare, very desirable, and a collector's item, of course. So we're going to head on over there and check it out. So here we are in Fairfield, California at Sterling Restorations, and the owner Gabe is going to talk about the 69 Corvair Monza he's restoring for Bruce Mooers. So it's quite an extensive restoration. So come on, let's go inside and take a look.
Started running and then everything.
So here we are inside Gabe's shop, and this is the owner of the car, Bruce Mooers, and this is Gabe over here. So I'll give the floor to you guys and let you tell us about the car. Okay?
All right, so I want to introduce Gabe Lopez, but I'll tell you first how I met Gabe, and I had an unfortunate phone call from Josh about a beautiful potential 65 turbo LA factory convertible that was for sale over in the East Bay, and I went down and made a deal and bought the car and brought it home, and what looked like a great project that we'd be able to take out pretty easily, quickly. As we peeled back the layers of the onion, we found out that we needed to do a lot of work, and so I started interviewing folks that would do the body work and take care of the paint, and had a couple of guys come by my home and look at it. And then I got a lead on a guy that was just starting out on his own. He had been at Altissimo over in Napa, which is a real fine, high-quality car building company. And I took the lead and I called Gabe, and he showed up at my house with his truck and his pen and his pad and started walking around the car with me, and we agreed to work together. And I got to tell you, Gabe, that was the best decision that I've ever made, and I couldn't be happier with the level of work that you did. Not only the metal work and attention to detail and the paint work, but the collaboration. Yeah. Because Corvairs are put together a certain way, and the weld spots, we all know what a wrecked Corvair looks like and what a straight Corvair looks like, and most of the other people think we're crazy, but we know how they were put together and the way they should be painted and the paint lines and when you fade to one color or another. And Gabe's ability to collaborate and listen and do it the right way has been huge. We all get something home from a shop and then we look at it and go, I wish we had done this or I wish we had done that. There's no regrets with the way he did Mark's car and the way it turned out, and Mark's going to be blown away when he sees it. We spent a lot of time working out the colors, and then I got another email from Josh. I was down in Los Angeles on business, and Josh emailed the club and said, hey, there's a 69 coupe for sale in Santa Barbara area. And so I was driving through Santa Barbara and stopped on my way home and thought I got a really good deal on a car until we got here again. And this 69 we picked up in Santa Barbara from the second owner, and it had been parked since '88, and it was a rust-free, really clean body. And
except for the
engine, yeah, except for the engine
right
lid.
There.
And we brought it to Gabe, and Gabe did his magic. You might want to take the guys through what you did and
Sure.
how you came to it all, get out of the way, and let you tell them, Gabe.
Thank you. First of all, I greatly appreciate the opportunity. It's great to work with someone that's like willing to go that extra mile and make everything right. It means a lot to me. Sorry, I get emotional. It's really important, It means the world to me. It's starting from ground zero and doing all the metal work is, that's where you want to start, because the horror stories are that you get something painted and any car can look this nice, but how long is it going to last? Is it 1 year, 3 years down the road, 5 years? you know, I absolutely hate hearing those stories because you can spend, you know, a lot of money, but then 5-10 years down the road, it's just, you're back down to square one. So to do something, you know, and really show off my work, and just be able to put the time into it, it really means a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, and we started with a good body, and you did minor metal work, and then
Yes.
what was the primer coat process, and then how many coats of paint, and how many coats of clear, and the type of clear you used, and why you chose that?
Okay, so materials wise, the process is we decided to go to through media blasting because really the question was, do we want to repaint the underside? That's the most important thing because you can't work backwards, right? If this were to be repainted and then Bruce decided later on, you know what, I want to paint the underside, that's going to be a total nightmare. So we needed to make that decision right away. That way we start with a totally clean slate. Right after the metal work, we get right into body work without even priming the car because body filler sticks to metal best, not necessarily primer. It sticks well, but not as good as like a solid foundation. So after the primer, everything gets block sanded, and there's tons of hours, you know, invested in that. All the prep work. As far as the paint, this is a German paint called Spieshecker. By far the best paint that I've ever used. I really hate to use anything else because it's just that good. And so this is actually 1.5 coats of paint, whereas other types of paint, you know, I'm not going to name any other companies, but we're talking about, you know, layers and layers of paint. So this is just 1.5 coats versus any other brand of paint, which is going to be, you know, anywhere from 3 to 5 coats of paint. So we're able to achieve this, you know, in essentially 1 coat, which I like a lot. It's a really high quality paint. We use the best clear coat that they offer, and that's it's expensive, but it offers great UV protection, which is always great because if something's going to sit out in the sun for, you know, any period of time, you want that protection. After
How many coats do we put on?
sorry, we did put on 6 coats of clear. The purpose behind 6 coats is I wanted to make sure that everything gets protected, but also that we can color sand and buff and polish the paint here. So this has been buffed and polished, but this isn't the last time that it's going to be polished. We want to assemble the whole car, and then once everything's assembled and everything's in place, then we can really get all the finer details and make it show ready.
If I can hold my hand and get the parts on without scratching it.
Yeah, right. You need a steady hand for that.
And the color, people were asking about the color. And what we did was we had a perfect hood underneath, and we had the codes, of course, but then every paint company's, you know, Le Mans blue code is a little different.
Yeah.
So we bracketed, we picked one, and then we did on the lighter side, and then on the darker side, then you move to that color, and then you go lighter and darker till you get as close as you can. You know, no matter what you do, you're never going to be exact, but if you bracket the paint, you know, 2 or 3 ways, if you're going for original,
Yeah.
you'll get the look you want. And I think this is as close as you're going to get to what Le Mans blue looked like. I had another Le Mans blue car that had been sprayed once before. It was a 69 coupe, and that only had 14,000 miles on it, but it was a little darker than this. And I've seen some a little lighter, and you know, you get as close as you can. And we're going for original because it's a fairly low production car, and it's got the original motor, and I think it'll be more valuable at the end of the day. It's only it doesn't have a lot of options. Tinted glass, 4-speed, 140. I think I've found a telescoping 69 steering wheel unit, so we'll put a few extra things in there, maybe a multiplex, but other than that, there's not a lot of options on it. But it won't be a V8 fast-ass car. This will be slow go with the smog on it. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but it'll have the smog pump, and
Yeah.
you know, we'll drive it a little bit.
Yeah. And that being said, we found a paint that matches the 60% gloss that we were after. So we're really happy with that.
Yeah, interior was harder than exterior.
Yeah.
Interior is a 60 gloss all the way around on all Corvair late models. And then you have two, like on the saddle interior, the dashboard is one color, and then the door trim and the rest of it is another, and the pillars is another color.
Yeah.
So that was
really tough.
there were
That
no
was the toughest
matches.
Yeah.
We had to do it with camera,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
That's hard. Once you lose that, you're done.
Yeah.
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 I tried to match it, and I understand what you went
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's matte.
Then you go
It's-
too shiny and the too.
Yeah.
It's flat on the dashboard. It's 60 on the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I end up with all shiny.
I was driving him crazy because I wouldn't
You wouldn't
capitulate.
accept it, yeah. You wouldn't accept it.
And
It's tough.
Gabe's collaborative nature
Yeah.
is what made that happen because,
Yeah.
I was bringing home spray outs to Eric. Eric is a neighbor and he would look at it. He's like, I think that's pretty good. We move it into the daylight. We move it under the
No, it's too
awning.
shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pain
It's
in
hard
the
to
neck.
match that.
Yeah. It is.
But it turned out perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's a great car.
I want to say another thing that Gabe is great about is transparency and honesty and integrity. And so I got daily updates, photographic updates with how many hours were put in every time that he worked on the car. He worked essentially exclusively on my car and got it through the shop really quickly. I bought this car in August. I disassembled it in February, and it arrived here in June,
July.
July,
I believe,
and
yeah.
here we are now.
So 3
Uh,
months, actually
done.
3 months later to the day. Oh, yeah. This is 3 months of work to the day, I think.
So that's pretty remarkable. And nobody came and boarded up the shop and took everything and left. You know how that works. So integrity and I know with the Amber Red car the same thing, Paul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You get on it, and I will say it's just amazing because every day,
Yeah.
that 8 or 10 photos, right, and all the hours, and going, here's where we start, here's this one spot, here's what it looked like in the beginning, here's what it looked like through it, here's at the end. You have no doubt the work that was done there.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I wanted to share it with you guys through Clark and Josh so that you guys could see what we were doing. This is the first time I've painted a Corvair, and it turned out, I've heard all the horror stories like you were alluding to, and I hope we've avoided all that. But certainly from an exchange, it's been a great business exchange.
Yeah.
I think I'm on the wrong end of it, but it's still a good thing.
Ship that I get, every car that comes in. So, it's just bringing a car in and then doing whatever I would want to do to it is really nice. I really take a lot of pride in my work, and transparency is key for me. It keeps me accountable. It keeps everything moving forward, and I can't imagine what it would be like without that transparency.
I agree. It makes it a smoother process,
Yeah.
particularly on a peculiar car like a Corvair.
Yeah, right.
So, I highly recommend Gabe. So if you guys are thinking about spraying your car, I know Eric's bringing in a 66 turbo coupe here in a few weeks. It's Marina Blue. He's doing some sprint treatment to that. It's going to look phenomenal. Beautiful turbo car that I sold you a couple, and he's still talking to me.
Yeah, that's great. We're
Thank you.
all really excited about that, and thank you guys for coming. It means a lot. This is my first open house, so it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Let's keep him busy with Corvairs and keep the Porsche guys out of here.